The East African nation of Eritrea is vowing to pull its troops out of Ethiopia's northern Tigray region. Eritrea's information minister confirmed the military presence in Ethiopia to the United Nations on Friday. They have been assisting Ethiopian forces in their conflict with the Tigray regional government. The admission came after months of denials. Thousands of people have died and hundreds of thousands more have fled their homes since fighting erupted last November. Now, there are disturbing reports about war crimes and other atrocities happening in Tigray. The UN says women have been the target of systematic rape and sexual violence from all warring parties. For more on this, I want to bring in Africa correspondent for the Associated Press, Cara Anna. She joins us now from Nairobi. Cara, thank you for joining us. You've been reporting on the refugees trying to get out of the Tigray region for some time now. What are they going through?
We recently, first of all, thank you for this. We recently went to Sudan to speak with people who continue to leave the Tigray region. And sometimes these are people who literally had just walked across the border. We are seeing people who, lifted up their shirts and showed us beatings, welts from beatings on their back that they said they had received from, Eritrean forces, who stopped them and beat them, and sort of one of them overheard a phone call in which they said, should we kill these guys or just let them go? Somebody walked in with a gunshot wound. Just people come in with stories of physical abuse. You have women coming in telling tales of being raped, being gang raped. You also have people talking about just what the United States has alleged ethnic cleansing, people coming in and saying their communities are emptying of ethnic Tigrayans. In some cases, people are being rounded up by authorities from the neighboring Amhara region who say, this is Amhara now. Get out, or we will make you go, or if you're going to stay, then you can have an identity card, but you will no longer be Tigrayan. You will be Amhara like us. So people are traumatized, and they really don't know what is going to happen next or when they will be able to go home.
And Cara, you mentioned ethnic cleansing. Is that that there are claims of that? Is that the consensus from international observers? And if so, why isn't more being made of this?
The United States, for one, perhaps the first, was the one who said, we believe that ethnic cleansing is happening in Western Tigray, which is where the Amhara forces are, people tell us the Amhara forces are sort of rounding up people and sending them out. That's why more isn't being made of it. Well, for example, the UN Security Council just a couple of days ago, again, spoke about the Tigray crisis, but behind closed doors. They've met several times behind closed doors, but they have been unable to really even issue a statement on the crisis because diplomats say that there's been opposition from Russia, China, and from the African members on the council. So while witnesses tell us and others over and over that ethnic cleansing is occurring, they also sort of ask, where is the international community? Why isn't anyone doing anything about this?
Yeah. Well, UN officials also say that troops are using sexual violence as a weapon of war. What is the response to those accusations in Ethiopia? Well,
for one thing, Ethiopia unfortunately does not say a lot to me necessarily, but they have in general sort of denied that perhaps their forces are doing it as much as perhaps Eritreans in general have been accused a lot. And at least one member of the Tigrayan interim government administration has been rather outspoken about, this is a terrible problem. A lot of women have been raped, have been gang raped. But the Ethiopian government itself, it admits that there are atrocities, bad things occurring, but they do not necessarily they don't necessarily like the scrutiny that this crisis is receiving, this conflict is receiving. So they are trying to do their best to sort of keep everything quiet. The internet remains off. So getting reports, getting evidence and such from the Tigray region has been just incredibly difficult. And so that leaves it up to, refugees, people literally walking out of the region to tell the world in some cases, or to tell the limited number of international media that have been allowed in. But in general, it's pretty safe to say that the Ethiopian government is not very happy with news coming out about anything negative going on there.
Well, we did hear last month Ethiopia's prime minister say that soldiers who were found responsible for rape in Tigray will be held accountable. That was a month ago. As you're explaining, they sort of just want the whole thing to go away, at least as far as international eyes are concerned. Has his government actually followed through on this promise?
They might be doing it. Yes, they have set up, I believe, what is some sort of independent body to look into these cases, these reported cases. It sounds like they have set up a hotline so people, can call and sort of report sexual assaults, rapes. But there are certain problems. Some communities in the Tigray region still have little to no phone service. Some areas have not had phone service for months, which again complicates work and trying to figure out what is going on there. And then also culturally, the women we spoke with, we spoke with women who said they had been raped, even gang raped, inside Tigray. And one thing is that, culturally, they feel really ashamed. I mean, really, they feel like they can't even talk to their families about it. And so the idea perhaps of, say, picking up the phone and calling someone and saying, I've been raped, you don't know how big that block, how inhibited they might be to do that. I also want to mention that, most of the health centers across Tigray, granted this is a region of like 6 million people, have been looted or destroyed. So if you can imagine that there's a woman who has been raped or gang raped, she often has nowhere to go. The health center may have like nothing, no emergency contraceptives, nothing for possible exposure to HIV. These, women may have to walk for, days or more to find help. And when they do, by that point, it might be too late for certain things. In fact, a couple of women we spoke with in Sudan were pregnant from their attacks. And they, one was quite, getting quite far along, and neither knew what they were going to do next.
Cara, you mentioned some of the struggles that the UN has had in getting the international community to even issue with a single voice, a denunciation of what is happening in Tigray. Is the UN or the international community able to do anything more? And is it in part just a lack of international will? What more needs to happen for people to become concerned about this?
There has been a lot, and when you say sort of the international community, it's usually like the United States, the European Union has been outspoken, the UN, and they've sort of been hammering home for months their goals that we really need to get into the region, we really need to get to all parts of the region to deliver humanitarian aid, for example. Early on, it was like, it would be great if the parties sat down and tried to negotiate or at least talk to each other. That was, a non-starter. And also, of course, right, with these reports of atrocities, the international community wants to go in there and at least have independent investigations. Even that's not really happening. The UN Human Rights Office finally has managed to sort of say that they can investigate in Tigray, but they need to do it only in collaboration with the government-created Ethiopian Human Rights Commission. So it's not completely independent. So it's been step by slow step. On the humanitarian front, they do say they're getting more access, but then again, they say more than 90% of people really need food aid. People are starting to talk about, people are beginning to die of starvation. This is something that's been feared for months. And just in general, there is a vast, rural part of Tigray that people really haven't reached, and no one really knows what's going on. And that is, that's alarming the international community. But, it's just really interesting talking to humanitarian workers, for example, who say, I can't tell you how bad it is. I can't talk to you about it because we might jeopardize, the access that we've managed to get so far. So that gives you a sort of sense of some of the difficulties just involved in simply getting in, period, physically getting into the region.
Cara Anna, thank you for keeping this on all of our radar and bringing these stories to us. Thank you.
Thank you.